Welcome here to TalkFCB and welcome back to the channel here today, guys, as we do have plenty on the agenda in this Barça news roundup. We're going to be talking about Raphinha, big developments on him over the past few days that we've got to discuss, and we're also going to be talking about Deco as well, along with Barca's plans for their midfield this summer, and a full update on Lionel Messi after new links to Saudi Arabia have appeared over the past 24 hours. It is all coming your way today. Sit back, relax and enjoy. And let's do this. Because I do want to start, first of all, by looking into Barca's midfield plans a little bit, because things have really come to a head over the past day or so, because we spoke yesterday about Sergio Busquets, and I would say right now there are significant doubts surrounding his future, whether he's going to actually continue at the club, and we're still waiting on his decision. He's going to announce it only after Barca have wrapped up the title, and I also don't think right now that it's just Busquets either in our current midfield that may be on their way out this summer, because I think there's real doubt about Kessi's position at the club, somebody who we often hear this summer might be used to generate funds. If there's a suitable offer on the table, if something comes Barca's way, they may certainly listen to that for him. And I think in all honesty, I think that's likely, because from my point of view, I still get the feeling that Xavi just doesn't really trust Kessi. I've had that feeling the whole way through the season. It's never really changed, even when we played with the midfield four. I don't really also know if Xavi knows the best way to use Kessi, where to play him to operate to his strengths, and I'm still not getting the feeling that he's trusting him ahead of next season, for example. And so perhaps all of this right now is exactly why we're starting to hear lots of rumours to other midfielders. You're thinking right now about Sofian Amrabat, the Fiorentina midfielder. Apparently Barca are looking to target him again. He's going to be a replacement for Sergio Busquets, and I've got to say, Amrabat on Sunday, what a performance he put in there for Fiorentina against the champions Napoli. He was absolutely brilliant in their midfield. Barca looking at that closely, I'm sure. And then, of course, there's Ilkay Gundogan, another clear target for Barca this summer. We want to sign him on a free transfer. Negotiations are already underway, and it was a really good weekend as well for Gundogan too. He got 2 goals at the weekend against Leeds. Obviously, that could have been a hat-trick. He had the chance there from the penalty spot. Missed that one. Not happy at all with Pep Guardiola, but I think there's a real chance this summer that we see a deal done between Gundogan and Barca, and that's not all either, because even today we've had young Fabrizio Diaz, the Uruguayan midfielder who's likely to be available this summer for around 6 to 8 million euros. He actually confirmed today Barca's interest in him. He said it is an absolute dream that Barca want to sign me this summer. It's great that they're interested in me, and we're going to see what's going to happen. So quite clearly Barca are looking at a lot of midfielders. There might be real movement in that area this summer, and do not be surprised to see a few departures too. But from midfield to attack, now I want to talk a little bit about Raphinha, because firstly I want to start by giving him big congratulations to him and his wife over the weekend there. They welcomed their first child, so wishing them and their family all the very best indeed right now. But when it comes to the football side of things, there's been a lot of speculation about Raphinha, hasn't there? Over the past week or so, we've spoken in detail about that big offer that came in. Reportedly, they're according to Gerard Romero from Newcastle for 80 million euros. That is massive money. That is a huge, huge deal. And also quite significantly, according to Joaquim Pereira over the weekend, he's a very reliable source when it comes to Brazilian players. He actually says there's more interest in Raphinha from the Premier League. It is ramping up right now, because he actually says that it's not Newcastle that are leading the race at the moment. He says Chelsea, they are the team who are really the front runners when it comes to Raphinha, and actually that would make a lot of sense in terms of Chelsea there. Remember, they were very interested in Raphinha last summer. They were leading the race then before Barca came in at the very last minute and snatched him away from them. Will they return to try to sign Raphinha this summer? And Pereira also says that Arsenal too have a real interest as well, and that was exactly the same as last summer too. They also were looking at Raphinha then. They're looking now, of course, to bolster the impressive squad that we've seen under Arteta this season. And I just think right now, when you're looking at Raphinha, that could be 3 big Premier League clubs with big Premier League money all vying to sign Raphinha this summer. And that is absolutely massive for Barca, I feel. You couldn't ask for a better situation there than 3 big Premier League clubs battling it out, bumping up the price, of course. You want a bidding war. That's what any club dreams of. And there is huge interest right now in Raphinha, but I still don't think that's the most important thing that we've heard. I still don't think that's the most significant aspect here, because the most important thing for me is actually Raphinha has given the okay to listen to offers this summer. Barça reportedly have spoken with him there. Raphinha has said, okay, I'll listen to offers, because apparently he may be open to leaving the club. And that is simply down to, reportedly, a sporting decision there. He feels as though looking at next season, if Dembele is fit and available, he's always going to be second choice. That's the feeling that he's got throughout the season there under Xavi. And for that reason, Raphinha may be open to moving on. So suddenly, all this interest in him, it is significant. It is big for our summer transfer window. And I think it gets even more intriguing when you think about Tuesday and what's going to happen then when Deco will arrive in Barcelona, because he's actually coming over there from Brazil to hold talks directly with the club about becoming our new director of football, about replacing the outgoing Mattia Almani. But this is all really interesting, of course, because once he arrives, Raphinha's future is going to be discussed, because don't forget right now, he still continues to be, at this point, Raphinha's agent. He was a huge part in bringing him to the club last summer, and it remains to be seen what Deco's position is going to be on Raphinha's future this summer. And I think it's well worth pointing out right now, guys, that if Deco does indeed choose to become part of the Barça board, the Barça sporting project there inside of the club, he is going to no longer be able to act as an agent. He would have to leave that behind there. Of course, he'd still have the agency that he set up continuing to run in the background. Raphinha would still be part of all that, but Deco wouldn't be able to lead that operation. He wouldn't be able to be the face of it on a day-to-day basis anymore. He would have to solely dedicate his time to his job at Barça. So those are two very interesting situations right now involving Raphinha and Deco, two parties that are very closely linked. And in these coming days, this week, we're going to find out so much more about what both of their futures are going to hold. But if we do indeed now move on to talk about Lionel Messi, because there is still plenty of speculation right now, and new speculation as well, linking him with a move to Saudi Arabia this summer. After Al Hilal there, it's been very widely reported, they have made Messi an offer that would make him not only the best and highest paid footballer in the world, but comfortably. We're talking here about huge money, enormous sums of money for Messi to move to Saudi Arabia. But that's not even all, because what's come out this morning actually is that Al Hilal are trying to convince Messi to join them, so much so that they've also made offers to Sergio Busquets and to Jordi Alba. So Al Hilal right now are hoping that in order to get Messi to join, they will say, look, we can reunite you with your former teammates, Busquets, Alba. There's offers on the table for them. Even apparently, they may send one to Marco Verratti too. There's big money on the table for this entire operation from Saudi. However, guys, and I want to make this really, really clear right now, because despite everything that you're hearing about Messi and Saudi Arabia, I still maintain 1000% his priority first and foremost is still to join Barça. He still wants to come back to the club and back to the city this summer, and that is where he still expects to be next season. Because it's also important to note, guys, this is not only from a footballing point of view right now, because I just think Messi, and not only Leo, but his entire family, they want to return home to Barcelona. They want to return home there to the house they have in the city, the life that they lived, of course, for many, many years of their lives. And I just think even when you're looking at the last 2 years, Messi's family moving to Paris, it's not been an easy time. It's not been an easy transition there. And Paris isn't even that far from Barcelona. They've been able to come back and forth when they've needed to. And I think that's why you're hearing right now from the likes of Gerard Romero that Messi still has a lot of doubts about that Saudi Arabia move. Of course, the money is enormous on the table. We know all about that. But when it comes to his family, having to adapt there to a new culture, again, changing schools for his children, all different things like that, Messi is still not sure about it. And that is why he still wants to come back to Barça. That is the only place he wants to be. And we're still in the process, guys. Make no mistake of trying to make it happen. And so that right there, guys, is indeed the very latest right now on what is going on at Barça. But I'm very interested to know what your thoughts there are, especially when you're looking at our midfield situation, the big activity that we could see there in the coming summer. What are your thoughts on Raphinha and that big Premier League interest? And of course on Messi. Let me know what your gut feeling is ahead of the summer. Will he return to Barça? Is Saudi Arabia really an option? Let me know that down below. I'll be waiting to hear from you. And of course, I'll see you soon, where there's plenty more to come, both here and over on More Talk FCB. The fun, it never stops. But thank you indeed, guys, for all of your support. I'll see you soon. But until next time, as always, Visca, El Barça.